Gemara in Masechet Sotah says that the se'ar of the hair of a woman is considered erva. In fact, kol ha'isha erva, and there's two meanings for it. Kol ha'isha erva means, one meaning means that her voice is considered nakedness, which means that when a man hears, if one woman hears another woman sing, it doesn't do much for her. She may like her voice, but it doesn't do much for her any other way. But when a man hears a woman's voice, he hears her sing at the top of her lungs, if he knows what she looks like, naturally he will start visualizing her in inappropriate ways. That's just the natural makeup of a man. She could be somebody that's even he's considering unattractive normally, but as soon as he sings and he hears it and she sings in a nice way, automatically she becomes attracted to him. She becomes attractive to him. So a man is not allowed to listen to a woman sing if he knows what she looks like. On the other hand, it says kol ha'isha erva also means that the entire woman is considered nakedness. And a woman is so beautiful to a man, in a man's eyes, and a man's brain, the way he's made up, that her entire self is considered nakedness. Meaning that everything about her that's not supposed to be covered or uncovered naturally is something that a man could be led to think inappropriately. Meaning, a man doesn't look at the palm of a woman's hand and think about anything inappropriate. Why? Because the palm of her hand looks like the palm of his hand. Back of her hand looks like the back of his hand. It's not that much of a difference. Same thing with the feet. Same thing with the face. Unless she's making all types of looks and things like that, it's a different story. But in general, there are things about her that a woman is you see, a man sees it, doesn't automatically lead to certain thoughts. Even if she's attractive, if she's covered everywhere, most men will not start thinking extremely inappropriate thoughts. But there are certain parts of a woman that do create them. For example, certain parts of her body, certain parts of her legs, and needless to say, her hair. The hair of a woman is by far the most attractive part of a woman, the most attracting part of a woman. Even if a woman does not have a nice body, or a body that's attractive to a man, or this particular man, if she has a normal looking face and nice hair, she will become attractive to him. Quite frankly, it's a reality that most women have much more attractive faces and hair than they do bodies. And that's what attracts men. So the reason why our Torah has in Parashat Naso said that a woman has to cover her hair. From there is where we learned, the source of where we learned that Hashem says that married women have to cover their hair, is because once a woman gets married, she makes a promise. What's the promise? The promise is, you, my husband, my beauty from now on belongs only to you. I'm giving you my beauty. He, in return, promises her whatever sustenance you need, whatever intimacy you need, whatever clothing you need, materiality you need, I promise that to you. I'm yours, you're mine, but that's it. Which means that the woman is no longer allowed to share her beauty with somebody that's not her husband, because she belongs to somebody else. So that is what Hashem wants a woman to do, because He wants her to have a happy marriage. Now, happy marriage is impossible if a man that's a normal man knows that every time he walks down the street or every time he goes to shul with his wife, every second guy is staring at his wife. He walks with his wife and every guy is looking at his wife. Whoa, it's very annoying. Why? A normal man that loves his wife is jealous. Even if she's his wife, no one's taking her. Still, he sees another guy commenting on his wife, it drives him crazy. If it doesn't drive him crazy, it's one of two reasons. Either he doesn't really like her, or he likes somebody else much better. He's cheating on her. It's not normal for a man not to be jealous of something that happens with his wife, even if they're married for 50 years. If he's not jealous, there's something wrong there. So the point is that for a woman to put herself in a situation where she's causing men to become attracted to her, she's violating that ketubah. She's violating that contract that she has with her husband. And that's why the Gemara Masechet Ketubot says, what kind of women are you allowed to divorce without giving them any money? Says if the woman intentionally cooks you non-kosher food. You ask her for food, she intentionally cooks you pig. Okay, you kick her out. If this woman does not want to go to the mikveh, okay, if you doesn't want to go to the mikveh, then you can't be with her. Can't be with her intimately, there's no marriage. Okay, you kick her out. What about another one? If this woman does not cover her hair, you kick her out without paying her ketubah. Why? Because she's causing other men to look at her. She's violating the ketubah every single day. This is Torah. So a woman that wants a happy marriage, first and foremost, needs to know the only good that exists in the world comes from Hashem. Whether I have a good life or a bad life is if Hashem decides I'm going to have a good life or bad life. So why would I do something against Hashem's instructions and expect a good result from it? Like why would Hashem give me something good if I'm going against His instructions? If I'm going against the instructions that He said to me, this is how you get good. Why should I expect good if I go against the instructions? It's like the phone manufacturer says, warning, do not throw. The phone may break. And you say, it broke. This phone is terrible. You call iPhone, you call Apple. Listen, you guys are terrible. Why? The phone broke. How did it break? I threw it. Hey, wait, the warning said don't throw the phone. Yeah, but I threw it anyway. Okay, you violated the instructions. You violated the warranty. Everything is void. You didn't follow the instructions. You didn't follow the instructions, it's going to break. But if you follow the instructions and it still broke, then we'll fix it. But if you didn't follow, then it's not our fault. Same thing with Hashem. Hashem says, I gave you instructions of how to have a good life. You follow the instructions, you will have a good life. You don't follow the instructions, don't come complaining to Him about divorce, about cheating, about lying. And I don't need to prove anything to anybody. You could simply look at the statistics. Over 80% of Western society get divorced. And like I said earlier in the lecture, over 90% in some places in America, like Colorado, get a divorce. Now, if you fly a plane, anybody consider that hard? Flying a plane? Anybody here know how to fly a plane? Tell me, you know how to fly a plane? Or you don't know how to fly a plane? I know how to fly a plane. I don't know. Nobody knows how to fly a plane. Anyway, but you would think to go fly a plane, it's hard, right? It's hard. So they go to school for a couple of years, at least 2-3 years, to go learn how to fly a plane. Depends how big the plane is. Now, if you look at the statistics, as far as how many plane crashes there are in the world each year, it's a very, very small number. Very small, like single digits. Very small number. Even though there are countless planes going up, going down, some airports have literally hundreds of planes landing and taking off every single day. Unbelievable. If you actually, they say one of the most stressful jobs in the world is to be one of those people that looks at the screens and tells the planes where to go. Why? Because any moment, if you tell the guy to make a right and he makes a left, there's a crash. If you tell the guy go at 30,000 feet instead of 29,500, 500 feet difference. I mean, out of 30,000, what's the big deal? Big deal is there's another plane at 20,500. Same thing, same less, they're going to crash. So you have to constantly look at all these planes, know where everything is. It's a very stressful job. But with all of that being said, there are still very, very few crashes in the world, Baruch Hashem. Very few. But it's hard to fly a plane. Guess what? It's even harder to have a happy marriage. Why? Because we see from statistics, planes, only single digits crash. Marriages, 90% crash. 90% crash. Why? People didn't go to school. For the planes, they went to school for a few years. For marriage, they didn't go to school. What's school? Learn Torah. School is learn Torah, do what it says. Now, sometimes people know how to do mitzvot. They know how to keep Shabbat. They know how to keep kosher. They know how to pray at shul, but they don't know how to be married. Why? Because there are parts of Torah, like what we're teaching, Musar, teaching you ethics, teaching you behavior, that they skip that lesson. So they know how to go to shul, they know how to grow a beard, they know how to eat like a cow, they know that stuff. But how to be a decent human being, they don't know. They skip that lesson. They interrupt the lesson by making noise in the back. They eat the food that doesn't belong to them. They start interrupting a conversation that they weren't even a part of. Stuff like that. They forgot the Musar lesson. They skipped that part. They don't know how to be human beings. That's a problem. Why? Because that means you're going to crash at some point. You could crash. Why? The plane crashed. You'll crash. But more likely you'll crash faster. Why? You learn how to be a human being. So, it's important for a person to look at every single one of the mitzvot as an opportunity to not only get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but to increase their own chances of never ever crashing in life. Never getting into a depression. Never getting a divorce. Never getting a fight. Imagine living a life where you're never ever upset. Never. Like, stuff happens, but you're not upset. Why? Because you know it all comes from Hashem. Imagine such a thing. It's an unbelievable life. Now, there are things about life that are upsetting, but you're not upset like the next guy. You don't lose your mind. I can tell you something. Yesterday, my son, God bless him, my son Ovadia, God bless him, which for him is this shul, he's one of these kids, a special kid. Why? He only looks for trouble. He's one of these smart kids, so he looks for stuff. Shtabach shimo. He gets himself in trouble. I don't even know how. So, on the eve of Pesach, Leila Seder, little Vadia, him and his sister are running around. Yosef is in his little stroller, hanging out. And they're running around, they're singing all types of songs. Unbelievable. Best seder I've ever had in my life. At some point, Ovadia goes to the kitchen. Ovadia in the kitchen, no good. Dangerous. So I run after Ovadia because he's in the kitchen. I arrive in the kitchen, but Ovadia already took something from the counter. I don't know what it is. He took something from the counter, and it looks red, and it looks white, and I'm not really sure what it is, but he's holding it. And he's holding it, and I said, give it to me. Because I know it doesn't belong in his hand. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't belong in his hand. I said, give it to me. I said, give it to me. He goes, ow, my hand. I said, give me that. What is it? What is it? It's a cook's knife. A chef's knife. What's a chef's knife? A chef's knife is, by the way, a chef's knife is you look at it, you get cut. He's squeezing the knife part. Oh, my hand. I was looking for Hashem Yachem, all kinds of blood, something. 911 is in my mind. I look at this, I put the thing away. Nothing. Nothing. He said, ow, my hand. So I saw it. There has to be something. Nothing. Some miracle, number one. Yesterday, he's playing with his sister, whatever. Oh, ow, my hand. Running, he's crying. He's crying for 20 minutes. We have no idea why. We see he doesn't want to move his hand. Doesn't want to move his hand. I try to pick him up. He's crying. Mamash doesn't stop crying. What happened? Doesn't want to move his hand. I said, no, show me your hand. Raise your hand. Something. He's not moving his hand. Not moving his fingers. After crying for a while, anything you move, anything you touch, he cries hysterical. I said, oh, he must have broken it. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. We go to the hospital. This was my vacation, by the way. We go to the hospital. After a lot of kaparat avonot, we finally get in. We go to the hospital, we sit down, everything is, we're, Baruch Hashem, we say at least it's this, it's not something else. And we're over there, Ovadia is under control, everything is good. But maybe a minute, less than a minute, before the doctor finally arrived. So this was about 3 hours after the whole hand thing happened. For 3 hours, he's crying. If you touch his hand the right way, the wrong way, something. A minute before the doctor came, he starts jumping and going, and you're on the bed, and hey. I said, is this like a joke? I said, give me your hand. He's like, give me a high five. He's telling me, give me a high five. I said, I give him a high five. He goes, no, give me two hands. And he gives me two hands. All of a sudden, the hand, miraculously, the doctor comes and goes, where's the patient? He doesn't know what to do with us. I says, I'm sorry to waste your time. I don't know what happened. The doctors explained to us some natural way that they're giving this excuse of what happened. In reality, another miracle. So, now throughout all of these things, Under normal conditions, it's very easy to lose your mind. Why? The kid's 2 years old. There's a knife in his hand. The kid's 2 years old. He can't move his hand. He's crying nonstop. It's very easy to lose your mind. It's very easy to start crying with him. It's very easy to start questioning God. Why'd you do this to me? Why me? Why him? He's only 2. It's very easy to do all that stuff. But if you know that all of this, all of these difficulties are coming from him, from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, keep control. You're under control. You don't lose yourself. You don't lose your cool. You don't lose your mind. You don't lose hope. You don't lose anything. Why? Because you realize this has something good in it. What? I have no idea. But it has something good in it. Has something good in it. Maybe Hashem wants to show you how he controls nature. Maybe Hashem wants to show you how a lot of things happen. A lot of things that we learn in the Yishuv. The point is, Rabotai, is that a person that's constantly connected to Hashem is going to see miracles like in front of his own eyes. Another story for you. Yesterday or the day before, Rabbi Ephraim gets invited to do a shiur in Netanya, in Israel. And at the same time, somebody calls the house. He's visiting his parents. And he says, listen, tell your son, Rabbi Ephraim, to come to my house. I want to give him some money. I want to help him out. Decent amount of money, a couple $100, which is a lot of money for them. I want to give it to him, but he has to come to my house. No, he has a shiur now. Oh, if he doesn't come, I'm not giving it to him. He has to come. I want to get a blessing. I want to sit with him. I want this. People they want to buy you, like as if you're cattle. So his father says, it's a lot of money. He says, what do you want to do? Rabbi Ephraim says, there's no question. I have a shiur. He goes, yeah, but it's a decent amount of money. There's no question. Rabbi Ephraim is tzaddik. Says, there's no question. No question, that's it. No question. He says, Abba, Tzad Hashem, we're going to get 10 times the amount. Well, from who? The kids? The kids, the oldest among them is 16, 17 years old. Maybe he has 37 shekels in his bank. He doesn't have anything. These are poor kids. They don't have anything. No, nothing. Hashem's going to send 10 times the amount. He goes, he has a shiur. If anybody saw the shiur or saw some of the videos we posted online, the pictures we posted online, you see the kids putting on tzitziot, taking on Shabbat, taking off earrings. Mamash doing serious tshuva on the spot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Later, the next day, he is sitting down with another tzaddik, his father-in-law. Ask him, what's going on with Parnassah? I heard about the story with the guy. Yeah, he didn't give. Oh, what's tough times, tough things. He goes, no, B'ezrat Hashem, everything's going to come. 10 times more is going to come. As he finishes saying 10 times more is going to come, 10 times comes. How do I know? I sent it. I was on the other side. As soon as we sent it, donations and so on came. He calls me, he goes, oh Hashem, you are part of a Kiddush Hashem. Why? The people next to me started crying. I said 10 times happened. Why? A person that believes in a Kadosh Baruch Hu gives Hashem a reason to believe in me. But you have to pass a test. You can say 10 times all day till tomorrow. But if you really don't believe it, Hashem knows. Hashem knows. What are you going to do for it? The point is, Rabotai, is the person that believes in the Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to make certain sacrifices for him. He's going to make certain sacrifices, certain things that are difficult. But if he or she is willing to make difficult decisions for Hashem, Hashem is going to make difficult decisions for you. Meaning he's going to give you things that technically you don't really deserve. Technically you don't really deserve. If you really looked at the Torah and see what you're getting versus what you deserve, you'll see that you're getting a lot more than what you deserve. Why? Because you're doing certain things that Hashem wants you to do, and therefore he's giving you more than what you deserve. But that doesn't last forever. That only lasts as long as you keep doing what Hashem wants.